Hey y'all, I'm Karyn.
And I'm Mingo.
And this is the Mingo and Karyn Show.
Whoop,
Yay!
whoop. Yep.
And we are excited to be here today for another episode. And for those of you who don't know who we are, we've been married for 27 years.
27.
Been together since we were 19. We have 4 adult children and a granddaughter that we absolutely adore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what we decided to create this channel and create our podcast because we wanted to tell people things in life that we learned that people never told us, that we didn't have guidance about. We had to figure out some things on our own.
To pull that curtain back about what really happens in a relationship.
Exactly. And not that we didn't have people who helped us along the way, so let me not make it seem like we were just out here in the wilderness on our own, because we weren't. But but I'm just saying, but there were things that sometimes people weren't always willing to tell because we live in a society where people kind of keep things secretive and, things look perfect on the outside and they real ragged on the inside. And so we wanted to ironically bring out our raggedness, I guess, so
kind
we
of
can
like
help people.
living in a glass house. We didn't want to live in a glass house.
Yeah, we want to be authentic and open and just literally tell you things that we that no one ever told us. And so today what we're going to be talking about is something that's really important to me, which is the season of acceptance. Yeah. Because Mingo and I were like y'all know we talk all the time anyway because we're best friends.
Yes, sir.
But we were having this conversation about I was telling him that I was at a stage in my life where I was accepting of things. Mm-hmm. And that because of that, for those of you who saw some of my social media, okay, so first of all, I did a video. I just wanted to be candid because I gotten some news about, my health from my doctor. Yeah. Been struggling with weight for a long time, up and down, and then just up. So just trying to be open and transparent about where I was in this journey. And so even to the point where I did we did a social media video yesterday and I didn't even wear makeup. That's how comfortable I am with now being able to talk to you all about accepting of myself. Yeah.
And like I was telling Karyn, this goes for anybody. This has nothing to do with gender. This has nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with anything other than you need to get in alignment with the person in the mirror.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep saying that all the time because I'm doing it myself.
Yes.
And being accepted and facing your past and your present and the realities of what you live. Yeah. Nobody's story is identical.
That's right.
No two things in this world are identical. Right. Even man-made things. There is a flaw that makes them different. And we need to accept that as people. So what I'm saying when I say that is when we have our idea of what somebody is going through or how somebody should look at something, or what we would do if we were in their shoes. We can't say that. Yeah. Because we don't know. Because even if we were in the identical situation, there are things in my life that led me up to be who I am to make the decisions that I make. Right. Same thing for you. That would be unfair for me to say, well, Karyn, you shouldn't feel like that. I mean, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're this, you're that.
You got a compliment.
Yeah, you're just this wonderful person to me. But if you don't feel like a wonderful person, sometimes compliments don't feel as good.
Well, and I have been there, done that. When you're talking about to face our realities, looking back on so many things and where I am today, and because we can't predict the future. I mean, we can manifest the future. Yeah, we can't predict it, but just facing a lot of things. And I think for me, I was in denial about a lot. So I'll start with you all. We've been in real estate now going on 19 years as far as being licensed and stuff like that. I started mortgages in 1999. Yeah. But
been a long time for us.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And so when the market crashed, we lost everything. Yeah. Everything. And I feel like even though from my weight issues to my sadness, my even when I think back on it, maybe even bouts of depression in some kind of way that I dealt with, that have actually gotten me at this place. I feel like for some reason, I know the reason, but I accepted what my realities were. Even my past was, I didn't want to accept that we had worked that hard to lose everything, because it wasn't because of us. We had the income saved up. Our industry just died. Real estate went through, we went through a recession and everything. So I'm saying that to say I am just now, last year forced me to face everything.
And that's why I said, in the previous podcast, that I was not carrying my 2022 into my 2023. Yes. And people got to understand what I mean when I say that. 2022 is a sum of a bunch of years. Yeah, it ain't just 2022. Because technically I hadn't let it go yet. So I made the decision in 2023, oh, I'm leaving all that behind.
It's like a snowball.
Yeah, I'm not just leaving last year. I'm leaving all them years.
Wow.
The years of the baggage. I'm not talking about the good memories, the good things that happen, but I'm talking about those things that you find yourself in conversations with friends, family, co-workers, and for some reason, you could be talking about eating at a restaurant, but then you're talking about what happened to you when you was a little boy. You could be talking about, you know what I'm saying? You could be talking about something that happened at work, and then it phases into what you went through growing up.
Yeah.
That growing up piece was a problem. You can be an adult body with some childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And I know I had some. I mean, I ain't afraid to say it.
Absolutely.
And childhood trauma doesn't show up until you're pushed into a corner.
That's true.
And then you act like a child.
You act out.
Yeah, you act out because you don't know how to handle it. It's foreign, but now you're older.
Yeah.
And because you're older, you can do something about it. Or at least you think you can.
You think you can.
You think you can do something about it. So me and Karyn gonna always talk first person. I don't know whether this applies to somebody. I told you this show is therapeutic for us.
Yeah.
We already talk a lot outside of this, and our kids were like, why don't y'all just record yourselves talking? So it's like, okay, we record ourselves talking. But I really, especially men, you know, I had some men in my life, you know, whether I was related to them or not.
Yeah.
And they gave me some good things. But they also gave me some bad habits.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to tell me because always remember, kids, people don't know this apply to adults too. People watch what you do more than what you say. So we're saying a lot right now, but we're trying to show y'all we're living this. We're walking the walk. We're transparent. You want to know? Shoot us something in the inbox as long as it's not disrespectful. Even if it's disrespectful, we will answer.
Yeah, and I mean, well, not too disrespectful. Now, don't try it. But, you know, just playing, but no, I'm not. But, you know, because we are here to help. You know, we want to help people who truly want to, who can, you know, take our advice or take our life's lessons and you can benefit from it. We're not here trying to tell you that we know everything because we don't. We're still learning. But I know what we do know, we know. And I think that for me, what happened last year, just to kind of give you all context, you know, I have struggled most of my life with kind of my family issues with my parents and, oh man, just different things, you know, my just familiar relationships, period. And not feeling like I belonged. I know one of our previous podcasts was, you know, the greatest lesson I never learned was to love myself. And so I'm still, believe it or not, here I am a couple of years later still on that journey. But last year, I got it. That's why it was important for me to talk about a season of acceptance, because I accepted what my life was so that I can create my new reality. I want to have something different. So I accept that whatever it is that I wish that I had, I didn't have it. I accept that today. I believe that the weight that I have carried is not only physical weight, but I think it's spiritual, mental, and emotional weight. And so it has shown up in me because I have been carrying the hurt of my past and not accepting what it is, not accepting that I can't go back and make somebody love me more, make somebody accept me. So what happened was I had kind of a reality check. The last year has been, I would say the last year to 12 to 13 months within my family has been a lot. You know, had some really tragic things happen. And, you know, it made me actually just say, okay, you know, I just want to be closer. I'm not trying to, you know, distance myself, you know, anymore. Let me at least try to put a pinky toe in, right? And so not only did I put the pinky toe in, anybody who knows me knows I'm a giver. I have a really good heart. And not that I've always been good, not that I don't make mistakes. I'm not saying any of that. I'm a human being. So don't make it, I don't want it to seem like, oh my God, Karyn just blemish free. No, Karyn is real. When I mess up, I mess up. And I'll apologize, and I really try to correct it. If I can't, then it just is what it is. But I really, you know, I don't do anything intentionally. But anyway, needless to say, I gave of myself the way that I probably would have been too guarded to give, just because the circumstances were so extreme. So the holidays came around. All these people who want to, you know how our family is, child. You know, y'all, why we only come together on certain occasions, and we need to come together, blah, 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 right? Both sides of my family, both came together and didn't even invite me. And so the old me would have been hurt. I would have, as my husband said, I would have acted out. I would have called. I would have clowned. But I had been had started to work on me.
Yeah.
I had started to work on, you know, is this the person that I really want to be? Do I really want to continue to carry this baggage, or do I want something different? And so thankfully, because I had started doing the work prior to that, trying to figure out why am I stuck? Why can't I get out of this that I've been stuck in as far as I can remember what is going on? But that day changed my life because I understood that I don't have to wish for anything. I just need to accept what it is so I can go on with my life, because people can tell you how they feel about you, but they really show you. Those actions speak louder than words.
And you know what you're saying, that, you know, that brings about stepping out of denial and then stepping into reality.
That's right.
The denial was, you know, if this happens, I'm going to be included. You know, this is how you feel. I'm going to be included. But then the reality is, you find out by happenstance, no matter what it is.
And then it wasn't even looking for it.
Yeah,
That's so
you
crazy.
find out a situation by happenstance. So that makes you say, this is not a time to act like I always act.
I'm not who I was.
How can I grow from this?
Absolutely.
So what do I need to realize? Do I need to realize, one, what I had said, yes, I will come, if they had asked. That's one thing, and that's not to be answered. That's something to think about. The second thing is...
Let me answer. One of them I absolutely would have, because there was somebody that, you know, I had a elderly family member that was there. I absolutely would have shown up, despite how I felt about anybody else that was there, because she, you know, she's aging, and I would have wanted to be there. At least if the entire family was going to be there, I would have been there.
And then and that's what's real about you, Karyn. You're not afraid to share how you feel. So what happens is, when you don't share these things, I mean, we don't have that issue.
Yeah.
But when you don't share these things, or anybody don't share these things, this creates all of that led up to 2022. So now that you've made space to say, okay, my next question I ask myself, would I have gone? You know, would I have said, you know what, whatever, I'm going to go ahead and go, because it's important for me to go and be a participant in my familiar situation. So those things weren't offered to you. It didn't happen like that. And you shouldn't have to say, well, that's water under the bridge. No, that's not true. That is that, okay, when I'm asked to show up, I show up and show out.
Even when I'm not asked,
when you're not asked. But then, I'm a little bit different. I'm the type, maybe right, maybe wrong. I'm the type, I really ask myself, if I were in the same shoes, would someone do that for me? Right. That's just the way I am. I will bend over backwards for somebody. But if I feel you're going to take, and then I'm depleted. You know, I give the analogy about the sponge. A sponge can only hold so much water. You got to wring it out at some point. You know, that's just like a bank. You have X number of dollars in the bank, and you keep going to the ATM and you keep swiping that debit card. At some point, that money is going to run out till you put some more in there. Absolutely. Our lives is that same thing. And it is okay. This is the way you feel. They get to feel how they feel. Absolutely. Sometimes a meeting of the minds doesn't work. Absolutely. So now you have to protect your individual health, because stress is what led to the issues you're dealing with. That's right. The issues I'm dealing with medically. You know what I'm saying? So as we move forward, we love everybody knows us. We the same everywhere we go crack jokes. We go have a good time. We go get our kids to turn, our young adults to turn up if they're there. That's who we are. But sometimes you got to stop being the entertainment. Yeah. Woo. You got to be invited. And really you get served this time versus you serving other people. Yeah. Because see, sometimes you do things so much and it's so repetitive, you don't know how to do any different. Yeah. But then when you want somebody, you know, I think you said this the other day, and I've heard a lot of people say this, sometimes you need to check on your strong friend. Oh, yeah. You're that person. I am. That because a lot. I've been with you guys since we were 19. When anybody has a problem, they come to you. But when you have a problem, you might have 5. It's the same consistent 5 over the last 28 years that I've been around you. Yeah. And this and I'm okay with that. Thank you, my 2 to 3 to 4 to maybe 5. But so, thank y'all. So we're saying this to be transparent, to let you know we're not here trying to look perfect. People, you can edit, you can change your voice, you can filter your faces. That's not us. Not us. We've been broke before. Yeah, that's not us. We've been in hotels. We've done all of that. Yeah. And it was a part of our lives to make us here today, because had we not been brought through, we wouldn't be able to sit here and tell you that. Because sometimes people get through things and they're too ashamed to talk about it. And you don't know who you can help. You don't know that you telling people the other day, hey, I just found out I'm pre-diabetic, and just the response you got, some of the things people saying. This one lady said, what? I'm finna go run, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, she said something to the effect of, I inspired her so much, and it just, y'all, you don't understand. It really moved me because she said I motivated her to get up and go swimming, and it was cold outside, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, look.
Oh, my bad. I said run. It was swimming.
No, that's okay. But I'm just saying, like, me. Like, she got inspired by something that I said, and it meant a lot. I mean, it really, really meant a lot to me that she acknowledged, like, just from me sharing my heart and sharing my, my experience, that it really motivated her.
But that's what this episode is about. It's more about being authentically who we are. Yes. Everything we talk about is not going to resonate with everyone.
That's right.
Everybody is not going to be happy about what they hear. But the one thing you can always remember, we're going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. We are truthful people. And I always say, if you could take the punch of the truth on the back, it's more better than the sting of a lie.
Oh yeah,
I'd rather somebody just tell me, let me absorb it, and let me make a decision to say, hey, I want to move forward with this. Hey, I don't want to be bothered with that. Then manipulate me to think it's one way, and then it's not. It's hard to believe that everything I felt, I gave as an individual. You gave as an individual, and then you once something hits and you sit down and think about it, you think about how many times that has already happened, but you weren't willing to accept it.
And that's the importance of stepping out of that denial. When you see, when the reality of the moments hit me, literally, y'all, I'm sitting at the crib, excited, chilling with Mingo. I normally cook every year. I decided not to do that. I just wanted to do nothing for the holidays, literally. And ended up getting 2 different phone calls and from 2 different people.
Like, where you at? Why you not here?
Like, why are you not here? And I'm confused, like, where am I supposed to be? And so I'm saying that to say stepping out of denial made me realize, okay, 2 things I need to do. The first thing I did was, on my one side, for everybody that planned it, I just wanted them to know my heart. But that I was okay with it, like, not in anger, not in any of that, not in unforgiveness. Those things, that's what I used to carry with me, right, y'all? For anybody who can relate to this, my pain would be the thing that I thought was my power, and it wasn't. My pain was just my pain that I kept carrying around, so I was literally dragging pain every day, from day to day, from month to month, from year to year, from decade to decade. And I decided I don't want to do that anymore. And because I'm at peace with myself, because I'm at peace with who I am, and because I want to live a better life, when you lose lives and you have so many losses over the course of a few years, it takes a toll. And so then I started to realize, like, I can either keep trying to force something that's not, or I can accept what it is and decide how I'm going to move. So I literally sent very respectful text messages to the parties that I wanted to know how I felt. I wasn't arguing back and forth. I wasn't doing any of that. I literally said my piece and I let it go. Had I not accepted that, wow, they just didn't want me there. I mean, as long as I can cook and I can cater to everybody and do all of that, as long as I'm doing that and making everybody laugh and telling jokes, but I'm talking about just for me. The things that I have done like that, it's not it has not been reciprocated as often, and that's fine because I'm a giver like that. I don't mind doing those things. But it was the fact that, gosh, they like intentionally left me out. And regardless of what they tried to say about it, it's not like I have not seen this pattern throughout my life. So what I'm saying to you, to those of you specifically who think, oh no, well, maybe it's just something on my behalf. It might be, but I'm gonna tell you something. Whatever your instincts are telling you, like we just said in the beginning, go back and look at those past times that this has happened to you before. That feeling that you feel is not a new feeling. You've always felt that. That's the one that you want to help you to step out of your denial and into your reality. And so at that point, when I sent that text message, you know what I did?
Let it go.
I let it go, and I created the reality that I want. Because no longer will anybody in this life, including nobody, no one will ever be able to have that much power and control, and not because they had it, but because I gave it to them.
Yeah, you want to share your space.
Yeah.
And when you create your new reality, you got to have action.
That's right.
So your action is you made the decision. Oh, this one really didn't feel good, especially after what I personally felt like I went through. Man, I would have loved to start something new, but something new started without me. And then when you think about that, it's like, okay, you can sit in that and wallow in that and wish that it didn't happen, wish that people would be different. That's unfair to you and to them.
That's right.
You have to be fair to you. They have to be fair to them. Because in their mind, it wasn't that big of a deal. In your mind, it was everything.
It was everything.
It might have been that one where they could have asked you 1,000 times and you always say no. But this particular one, you would have wished they would have had. Had given you the option.
Yeah, because it seemed like things had changed. And let me be very, very upfront, transparent, and clear. I stopped going to family gatherings. Oh gosh, babe, what? Maybe 6, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Like it's been years ago that I wouldn't go to family functions because it was always this. It wasn't peaceful. Let me say it like that. It wasn't peaceful on either side. And so I just was not. I was like, I can't deal with this. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. But this time was different because of the tragedy that had happened, and it seemed like we needed to come together. We needed to let whatever it was go and make amends and just, whatever it was, forgive and not talk about it anymore. Let's start from today. So that's what I thought. That's what I thought we were until today came, and then there was no fresh start. There was the same old thing. And so you don't have to stay in the cycle of the same old thing.
And your health is wealth. Bottling this stuff up and thinking you did something wrong and they thinking they did something wrong, that stuff is exhausting.
Yes.
It is exhausting. It is okay for you to put one foot in front of another and walk in a different direction that everybody think you should go.
Well,
it is okay. If nobody's ever told you, I'm telling you, it's okay.
Thank you, baby.
I'm telling you, it's okay. People don't understand because some people are addicted to chaos.
Well,
they go and do the same thing with the same result time after time after time. At some point, you have to decide, hey, this ain't gonna change, and I don't have no authority to change it. But what I do have authority of, I'm not going to do that. And when you say that, you draw your line in the sand, because if you step back across your line would never be respected.
That's right.
And how do I know? I let that line be crossed a lot of times in a lot of different situations, just being diplomatic. Just being diplomatic. And we don't want this to come off as like a gripe session. We want this to come off as, this is how we talk. You all just get to sit in on hear us talk. And hopefully throughout some of this conversation, you can say, oh yeah, I experienced that. I experienced that. Or you may be somebody who your family just adores you, your friends adore you.
Kudos to you.
And you never experienced this. So what I want you to do is look at this camera and say, I don't want that for my life. Because you don't want this for your life. Because family is everything.
Yeah.
But it has to be reciprocated.
Yeah.
Because you will deplete.
Yeah,
you will run out.
I remember you said something some years ago to me, and when I say years, y'all maybe 2. But you said, I'm not going to give any more than what somebody else gives.
That's right. You get one, I get one.
I give 50. They give one, I give one. They give 100, I'm going to give 100. And that was something that really resonated with me. And at the time, I didn't know how to practice that. So Mingo says, and when you're talking about creating your new reality and that you have to do that with action, when the moment comes, see, it doesn't matter what happens. I mean, it does, but I'm saying, like, action-wise, you could think all day, oh, this moment comes, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. And you have these kind of like, and Mingo used to say to the kids, these mind deals that aren't really real. But when you are faced with it, and it's right there with you, what action are you going to take? Now, are you going to say, oh, I'm not doing that. Let me go and set this boundary and not have to deal with whatever that is, and let me... whatever it was that I said I was going to do, I'm going to actually do that and apply it in this particular situation. And so I think that's what is happening to me specifically. I listen to you all them years, but I know I'm hard-headed sometimes.
Hey, I don't know everything, but I know something. Hey, I know how to fix the things that hurt.
You do. And ironically, Mingo tried to tell me for years how to try to let certain things go, how to process it differently. And I'm grateful to him that he was patient with me, because I was really stubborn in that regard. And I'm not really a stubborn person like that, unless it's something I really don't want to do. But I mean, for the most part, I try to be open to most things. But that was kind of this thing that was a resistance for me. And this is why I'm telling y'all, I know that even with me losing weight and changing my life, it's going to happen. because I am different. I accept what life is, this accepting that, hey, this is what it is. The reality is, Karyn, that every action that I did, this is the result of the action.
Yeah.
This is from the emotional stuff to the physical stuff to the health-wise. This is what I created. And so I really had to face my past so that I could move forward today. And that's not always necessarily easy to do. And I'm talking about not just your past based on other people, but I mean, even the mistakes that I've made or things that I've done in the past that I was, that didn't serve me well.
Well, just listen to Karyn talk about that. I'm going to share something with you all. I said on like our first video when we came back, I had gone to the doctor and the doctor said, hey, you're in good health. Mm-hmm. And I was just on cloud 9. Mm-hmm. That was a procedure. Yes. That wasn't my internal medicine doctor. Mm-hmm. So I went to my internal medicine doctor and she had blood drawn, like 3 large vials of blood. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking everything all good. They did the EKG, never done that before neither. Just, full annual physical. I'm excited about everything. I get a call the next morning from my doctor's office and said, Mr. Allen, when can you come back into the office? And I'm like, oh. And I'm a firm believer, when they want to do things fast, something must be wrong. Yeah. So the nurse that's on the phone says to me, you have type 2 diabetes. I said, what? Me? Not that I'm better than, I'm like, what? I said, I feel better than I've ever felt. Mm-hmm. And she said, yeah, your numbers are like high. Mm-hmm. And your cholesterol is high. Yeah. And I'm like, but I feel good. Mm-hmm. She was like, when can you come into the office? Can you come today? I'm like, what? I couldn't come right then, but she said, okay, we can do a virtual visit. Yeah. It was so serious. My virtual visit was at one time. They called and asked, could we do it earlier? Mm-hmm. That's the sense of urgency with this, y'all. Yeah. This just happened Friday. Mm-hmm. It did. And she said, so I get on the phone with my, with the person reviewing the stuff with me. And she goes in and telling me these numbers and said, look, we've already sent everything over to the pharmacy. We're going to set you up with a diabetic nutritionist. And I'm like, huh? Like, it's just moving so fast, y'all. I'm just like at a loss for words. Like, okay, I'll do it. So when I go to pick the stuff up, y'all, I have never been sick like that before. I've never had a surgical procedure. I've never broken a bone. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. And this bag is full of so many different types of medicines that I have to take immediately to get these numbers down. Yeah. And I'm like in shock. But I thought to myself, gotta keep on walking, gotta keep thinking. And I was gonna put off this, Karyn was on me about getting this annual visit. I'm like, I'll go in the summer. Because it wasn't necessarily time for me to get it. She's like, no, you should go now. I was like, she just kept pushing me. And that, y'all, had my wife not pushed me, I would have been walking around here with this condition. Yeah. And I just don't even want to talk about what could happen because she told me. Yeah. They told me. So I say all that to say, we will always be 100% transparent on this show. Mm-hmm. We will always tell you, if we make a mistake saying something, we'll come back and say it. I'm just telling you from my own personal life, health is wealth. Yes. Please go get your checkups. Yes. Please get those aches and pains looked at. Mm-hmm. I didn't even have those things. No. But when they looked at my blood, I have those things. Yeah. So I'm thankful to be here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep y'all updated. I'm a pretty active person. Yeah. And Karyn did a video of, we haven't put it out yet, but she did a video of all these different things we bought. Mm-hmm. When we found out this information on Friday, Saturday morning, y'all, we have 2 refrigerators. We threw away everything. That was not good for us. In both refrigerators. Yeah. And all the spices, we threw and went and purchased the things that will help us to be healthy and be here. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you all, just to show how much we care about you all, that we also care about one another. We're going to make it through all this together. And when you talk about, with us talking about the season of acceptance, and one of the things we discussed actually at the time was facing your past of being afraid to go to the doctor. Yeah, and I was terrified of the doctor. Yeah, you were terrified of the doctor. And that because this happened, you had to accept that your fear had gotten you to this place where you wouldn't go, but that now you are like, I think you're more open now to going and making sure that you're okay.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you, babe. And I told you, because it was very shocking for us to find out on Friday. It was surreal, actually. And because Mingo, listen, I'm reckless, child. I'm gonna eat on whatever. Yeah. And I mean, not that he doesn't eat with me, but Mingo is gonna be more active than me in a lot of ways, or he is more active than me. So to find this out, even made me realize, okay, I gotta stop cooking like pastas and put all this butter, and I love creamy stuff. I love a sauce. But stop eating, red meat, and I love a prime rib. So just making sure that we are correcting what we have done and accepting it so that we can move forward and putting action behind it. That's why we're excited for the next 90 days for us. And I'm so proud of you, babe. I just want to tell you, I'm very proud of you.
You also. You inspired me, though.
Well, thanks,
because
babe.
if you had not pushed me and inspired me, y'all ought to have been walking around here with this condition and didn't even know. I mean, I just share one more thing. They said to me, my levels could have got to a coma levels, and I didn't even know. Yeah. I didn't even feel like it. So I'm thankful that I'm on a treatment plan and everything is going well.
Well, I'm thankful that you're here, and I'm thankful that we have the health care that we have, and the people who care about us, and the staff at the physician's office that we go to. Just grateful for all of them, and like I said, I'm really proud of you. I look forward to us being fine. I know y'all normally see me in the red lipstick, but I really want to try something different, y'all.
Look good on you.
Thanks, babe. It's bright, as my daughter said. Mama, that's bright. But I don't care anymore. Life is short, y'all. You live it how you want to live it. And she didn't mean it in a derogatory way. She was like, okay, girl, but I ain't used to.
She's saying that's different for you.
It's different for me. And that's exciting to me now, that I get to do something different. So I'm putting my actions in front of my words now. I ain't going to just speak it. I'm going to live it and I'm going to do it. And so I'm excited to see what we're going to do. And this shirt that I have on is literally the feeling that I have right now and from this day forward.
And likewise.
Yes, baby. And so we're excited about everything. Again, we thank you all so much for always tuning in for us. And thank you for supporting us. Thank you for the people who don't even know us yet, who are going to see us in the future. And we just want you to remember, in this season of acceptance, to absolutely face your past and present realities, y'all. And you got to get out of that denial place. Face whatever it is and step into, hey, this is my real life, but what do I see myself doing? Where is it that I really want to be? And start to put action behind that. We're so excited that you all even come here just to listen to us give you this advice. Because it's not like we're not living it. It's not like we're not going through it. It's not like we're not trying to practice these steps on our own. Not trying, but practicing these steps and developing these steps on our own. We just feel like we need to share that with you all because somebody needs to know. Somebody needs to hear it. And so we just appreciate you all so much for tuning into our show, for supporting us all this time. And we absolutely wish you happy relationship building.
Happy relationship building.